In 1592, Korea did something that sounds absolutely insane. They burned their own ships. Not because they were defeated, not because they had no choice. They did it deliberately as part of a strategy. And it worked. Welcome back to Korea Uncovered, where today we're talking about one of the most counterintuitive military decisions in Korean history. To understand why, we need to set the scene. In 1592, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, the ruler of Japan, launched a massive invasion of Korea. His ultimate goal was to use Korea as a stepping stone to conquer China. The Japanese forces were enormous, somewhere between 150,000 and 200,000 soldiers, and they were equipped with arquebuses, firearms that Korean forces had little experience fighting against. The Japanese advance was shockingly fast. Within weeks they had captured Busan, then pushed north through the peninsula. Korean ground forces, which hadn't fought a major war in over a century, were overwhelmed. Seoul fell. King Seonjo fled north. The situation looked catastrophic. But at sea, a very different story was unfolding. Admiral Yi Sun-sin, commanding the Korean Navy from his base on the southern coast, had been preparing. He had built up his fleet, trained his sailors, and most importantly, he had developed the Geobuxian, the turtle ship, a heavily armored vessel unlike anything the Japanese had encountered. Now here's where the burning comes in. When Japanese forces captured the naval base at Busan, they found Korean ships in the harbor. Rather than let those ships fall into Japanese hands, where they could be used to transport more troops or supplies, Korean commanders made the difficult decision to burn them. Denying the enemy resources was more valuable than preserving the ships. This tactic, destroying your own assets to deny them to the enemy, is called scorched earth strategy, and it has a long history in warfare. But it requires incredible discipline and a clear-eyed willingness to accept short-term loss for long-term gain. In the chaos of a rapid invasion, making that call correctly is extraordinarily difficult. Meanwhile, Admiral Yi was winning battle after battle at sea. The Japanese depended on their supply lines across the Korean Strait, and Yi systematically attacked those supply routes. His victory at the Battle of Hansando in August 1592 was particularly decisive. He destroyed dozens of Japanese warships and effectively cut off the Japanese land forces from their supplies. The combination of burned Korean ships denying Japanese use of captured vessels, plus his aggressive naval campaign, fundamentally changed the war. The Japanese army that had swept through the peninsula found itself cut off, unable to receive adequate reinforcements or supplies. What had looked like a swift conquest turned into a grinding stalemate. The decision to burn their own ships is a perfect example of how desperate circumstances can produce brilliant strategy. Sometimes the most powerful move isn't what you build, it's what you're willing to destroy. Korea's willingness to sacrifice its own assets ultimately helped save the country. If you found this fascinating, subscribe to Korea Uncovered for more hidden stories from Korean history.